So we are currently at Lakeshore and Carlaw in Toronto. Again. We're going to be going for a live stream walk. What brings me here is that I found out that the permanent traffic signals have been installed. They're currently bagged, well, most of them, and are awaiting activation. So I decided to come down here to take a closer look at what is going to be active. So far it looks like that the dedicated bicycle signals will thankfully remain at the East Leg crosswalk and over at the North Leg crosswalk. And the existing protected permissive left turn phasing for northbound is going to be maintained, thankfully. And the southbound right turn overlap will also be maintained. And it looks like that the left turn signals for westbound and eastbounds are going to be fully protected permanently, which in my opinion I was really hoping for that, so I'm really glad that they're doing that, especially with the two-way bike path and the multi-use trail over on the south side. They haven't paved the intersection yet, but we do have more protected intersection elements being added. And they haven't quite opened the new bike trail at the north leg, but once it does open, it'll be wider. There will be more room for a bike trail, and there will also be a sidewalk as well. Originally this was just one multi-use trail. Now it's going to be a sidewalk and a bike trail. So hopefully that's going to eliminate conflict. I don't know when the permanent signals will be active. I'm guessing that is going to be not until the new bike trail opens on the North Lake. Holy, there's a swarm of bugs. So yeah, I'm guessing once that the new bike trail and the sidewalk opens, then those permanent signals will be active. So for those who just joined, we're at Lakeshore and Carlaw, looking at the permanent signals of what's going to be in place because they finally installed them. They're awaiting activation. Bicycle signals will be added at the north legs and east legs permanently. The eastbound left turns will be converted to fully protected permanently, thankfully. And same for left turns. Originally it was just protected permissive. And they're also adding a signal head on the left side as well, making it more visible to pedestrians and bicycles. They're going to be maintaining the protected permissive left turn for northbound, as well as the southbound right turn overlap. And they're all going to be Fortrans. So right now the westbound's fully protected left turn phasing is callable. I don't think it's extendable. For eastbound it's currently fixed time and it maximizes to the maximum green arrow time as well. They're widening Lakeshore Boulevard as well, which might allow room for a second dedicated left turn lane, if not a right turn lane. But looking at from this angle, it looks like there's room to have 5 eastbound lanes. I know for sure there's going to be 3 eastbound through lanes and a dedicated left turn lane. But we'll have to wait and see what there will be once they pave this intersection. And for those who read the rules, don't worry. It's just to deter like spam accounts and bots comments. I trust you fans and supporters and longtime subscribers. The even once thing, that's not for the fans, by the way. So I'm gonna watch the left turn phase for eastbound and westbound one more time, and then I'm gonna head over west to check the other permanent signals. Yes, Don Roadway has them too now. Just like over here, they're bagged, awaiting installation. Awaiting activation. We're on the south leg because the bike trail and sidewalk hasn't opened yet. It'll be a nice place to walk and to watch signals once it does. Now we're gonna make our way westbound. This multi-use trail is new, by the way. It was just a sidewalk originally. There's no traffic. I'm gonna have this driver go. Otherwise, you could have a hard time. Well, they kind of painted some lines here, actually. They are leaving a buffered space between the left turn lane and the left through lane. And with the way the curb kind of gets closer to the sidewalk, there might be room for a right turn lane. I really hope they put a dedicated right turn lane for eastbound. Don't know if they will. Now anyway, let's continue. Is out here today. They're watching the intersection and doing some construction, or maybe they're waiting to escort some oversized or slow-moving vehicles, because I saw over at the next light that there was a really slow-moving vehicle that needed to be escorted. I'm surprised they were doing work today. I'm honestly surprised that they're doing work on a weekend, but hopefully it increases the chances that all of this will open sooner. So yeah, they're doing some work over making that new bike path and sidewalk. And now we're coming over to Lakeshore and Booth Avenue. These signals were installed about a month or two ago. Right now, only the East Lake crosswalk has been installed, but they're currently working on adding all the other crosswalks. There will be bicycle signals for all 3 lakes. This is a bi-directional bicycle crossing, and I don't know for sure if the West Lake is going to have a unidirectional or bi-directional bikeway crossing. The North Lake for sure will, because that's where the new trail is. And eastbound has fully protected left turn signals. All the other directions have just permissive green ball. I really think the eastbound through signal should have a through arrow though, since it's a T intersection. Originally there were no traffic signals here. This was just a median, and this new intersection, especially with the left turn signals, they do help with alleviating heavy left turn volumes at Carlaw. Because I remember before construction began on this part of Lakeshore, I remember the line of left turns was spilling all the way to almost Don Roadway, and then they had to increase the duration of the eastbound left turn phase at Carlaw up to 65 seconds. And with these new signals, especially left turn signals, it's going to help alleviate or reduce the amount of left turns at Carlaw. So they shortened the green arrow at Carlaw to like 30 seconds or something, because there's not as many people using the left turn signals at Carlaw, since they can use the left turn signals here. As you can see, it's well used. A lot of people actually make U-turns here, and that pickup hook driver... Is there a no right turn on red sign actually? I don't remember. Wow, everyone's making U-turns. Nobody actually turned left. They recently extended the maximum green arrow time for these left turn signals here. For those who watched my driving in Toronto versus stupidity videos, you remember how there were so many drivers making illegal left turns and illegal U-turns before they added these lights? Well, now it's allowed. Thankfully, in a way that doesn't hold traffic, because they have their own lane to do it. I'm surprised they didn't put a no right turn on red sign for southbound. I think they should, if there's room that is, I think they should narrow the lanes on Booth to make a right turn lane and a left turn lane for southbound. Have a no right turn on red sign and put a right turn overlap for southbound that would say no right turn on red except on green arrow. Other than that though, I'm happy with these new signals. They also have a leading pedestrian bicycle interval for southbound, which is a good spot for that, in my opinion, as long as it's callable. Right now everything is fixed time because not everything has been installed yet. So there's the leading bicycle pedestrian interval. I think that if either they should have a no U-turn sign or not have a right turn overlap. But yeah, if they're going to be putting a right, I don't know if they're going to be even putting a right turn lane, but if they're going to be putting a right turn overlap at this intersection, then they'd have to put a no U-turn sign, in my opinion. I mean, there are 3 lanes, but I guess it depends the way people make U-turns. The thing is, Lakeshore and Carlaw also has a southbound right turn overlap right now, and there's no signage that forbids U-turns. There's someone that makes a left turn for once. And now I'm gonna head over to Don Roadway to check those permanent signals. And by the way, if anyone misses this live stream, you can check my community post, because I already made a post about all those permanent signals, including Lakeshore and Carlaw, Lakeshore and Booth, and Lakeshore and Don Roadway. But if they don't put a right turn lane, then they should just have a no right turn on red at all times, so that right turns don't interfere with U-turns if U-turns are allowed. So anyone that wasn't here for the beginning of the live stream, we started at Lakeshore and Carlaw. The existing signals are being upgraded to fully protected permanently in both directions for Lakeshore at Carlaw. The existing northbound protected permissive left turn phase is being maintained, and so is the southbound right turn overlap. The only highlights really is that when eastbound used to have protected permissive, but now it's being fully protected, thankfully, permanently. So the next traffic signal intersection up ahead in the distance is Lakeshore and Don Roadway. Construction work on weekends. Maybe some median planting. I would be running right now to Don Road because I'm so excited about the signal upgrades, but I'm tired of running right now. My muscles are so excited. A long walk yesterday, and I have blisters all over my feet. So for that reason, I'm gonna not run. Also, I don't know when, but the City of Toronto is planning to extend Broadview Avenue all the way down here, somewhere around here. Obviously, there's going to be new traffic signals here, right where I'm standing when they do that. It's probably going to be like another decade or so before that's in effect. They're currently studying it. Right now, Broadview ends just south of Eastern Avenue, or around at Eastern Avenue. So these signals at Lakeshore and Don Roadway are also going to be all 4 trans. Every leg, all 4 sides will have dedicated bicycle signals in both directions. And for the first time ever in history, this intersection will have left turns allowed in both directions for Lakeshore Boulevard. Before construction began, there was no left turn for eastbound and westbound. Northbound had a protected permissive left turn phase. Southbound didn't, and that was before construction began. So now, according to what it looks like with the permanent traffic signals, northbound and southbound will have new permanent protected permissive left turn phasing. Eastbound and westbounds will have new fully protected left turns. Westbounds will have fully protected right turns. So it looks like one approach is finally going to have a complete, fully protected turn set. We can't cross to the north leg because they haven't opened the sidewalk and bikeway yet over there. But what we can do is get a closer look from the south leg angle. So yeah, this will be eastbound new fully protected left turns. Then over here, so westbound's going to have 6 signal heads for motor vehicles, 2 for left turns, 2 for through movements, and 2 for right turns. Probably will operate as a right turn overlap for the new southbound protected permissive left turn phasing. And it looks like that there's actually going to be 2 4 sections on the left side for northbound and southbound. You don't see that very often in Toronto. Wonder if it's to make it more visible or if it has something to do with the potential right turn overlap for Lakeshore. Eastbound, if anything, because westbound's already getting fully protected right turns. But yeah, I'm really excited to see this once it's activated. Right now, there's only a crosswalk and bikeway at the south leg. There's something going on over here. I better stay out of their way. But yeah, here's another angle, if you'd like. Eastbound fully protected left turns, westbound fully protected left turns, westbound fully protected right turns, and there's signals northbound, southbound, protected permissive left turn phasing. But yeah, that's as far as we can go at this leg. I'm gonna stay out of their way. I'm gonna cross back at the next green light. Right now, the left turn phasing is callable and extendable for both directions, as far as I know. I do think they should have put a dedicated right turn lane for northbound and southbound. I think they have room to do that, but with these big power line towers, that's probably why they didn't, because the power line tires are in the way for making room for a right turn lane. As for southbound, I think there is room, but they'd have to narrow the width of the northbound exit lane. Anyways, I'm really excited to be at this to check the signal phasing and be over here once they're active. We can't continue westbound any farther along here because they're still working on the new bikeway and sidewalk, so we're gonna walk down over to Commissioner Street and then we're gonna head back up by Cherry Street. Just gonna check my phone battery. Oh, sorry, I haven't been checking the chat. I love to learn how to identify the different signal lenses. So it's kind of hard to explain in words for the different type of traffic signal brands, but I describe it visually. Like, for example, see how the back of the signal heads here are like cube blocks? That's Fortran. It's kind of like playing with, like, you know, when you play with blocks and you attach it like on and off. It's like, see how like there's 4 sections that look like that there are blocks that you can attach on and off. That's Fortran. And actually there's going to be an Econolite Duralite signal en route at Commissioner Street and Cherry Street. Until then, all the signals are only Fortrans, but I don't know all the types of actual lighting LEDs. I know the difference between Duralite and Dialite. I think Dialite, as well as I know Leotech now, since Toronto's getting a lot of Leotechs. And EOI, I can't always tell if it's EOI, since those are kind of fading away now, since Toronto's usually using Dialite, Duralite, or Leotech. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the next signals. We're gonna make a right. We're gonna go over those orange twin bridges. And then when we get to the end, there will be econolite Duralite that I'll show. Usually when Toronto installs new traffic signals, they usually do all for one brand, and then they replace, like usually they do one brand, one type of lighting for every signal head. And usually when something happens to a traffic signal, like if it stops working or if someone hits it, then they replace it with a different traffic signal, or the same traffic signal with different lighting. And that's what I think happened at Commissioner Street and Cherry Street. I believe there's a 4-section econolite Duralite over there. I think it's one of the 4 sections that became econolite Duralite, but I don't know for sure. We have a level 1 type A pedestrian crossover. Toronto was like one of the only cities left in Ontario that uses level 1 type A. Talking about the arrow lenses. For arrow lenses, I find it easier to tell for arrow lenses than ball lenses actually. But there is also a difference between unimodal and bimodal. For Leotech and econolite Duralite, those are the easiest to tell if it's unimodal or bimodal. Oh, actually, we have an econolite Duralite right here, actually, as the primary signal. That actually wasn't there when I was here last time. And it looks like, no wait, it doesn't look like it's Duralite. Well, the yellow looks more like Leotech. Only the red light is Duralite. So, Duralite is the easiest to notice because it's much brighter than all the other types of lighting. I'm gonna stand right here just to get a closer look for you all. So do you see how the back of the secondary signal looks like it's cubes, like cube parts that have been attached together? And then the econolite signal, I describe the back as a bow tie for each section. That's the visual way how to know if it's Fortran or econolite. Each traffic signal brand has a different type of look at the back, except TCT. TCT and Fortran look almost the same, but it's not quite the same. I think there's a difference in length or width of part of the cube. But unfortunately, the econolite is not fully Duralite. Only the red light is Duralite. But I do know that over at the end of Commissioner Street, at Cherry Street, there is an econolite that's fully Duralite lighting. I really hope that it's still all Duralite. Especially the pixelated green arrows. Pixelated green arrows that are econolite or Dialite, those are the brightest and most well visibly lit. But on the other side of the bridge, we have some mid-block Fortrans. I'm gonna take a look and see if those are still the way they were or if they changed it to Leotech. Toronto's changing a lot of signals to Leotech right now. Not the signal heads, but the lighting. So it looks like they didn't change anything here. I think it's still EOI lighting. Don't trust me on that because I don't actually know. I don't actually know for sure between EOI and another type, but I think this is EOI lighting. They're doing some more work along the park here at least. I don't like how the vehicle stop line is so far back. It should be like about the same. It should be right here. The bicycle stop line is here, but the vehicle stop line is so far back. I mean, they're making, like, if the stop line is so far back, they're gonna need a longer all red interval. If they put it where the bicycle line is, they won't need an all red interval. Check the chat and see if there's interesting. Never knew that. Oh yeah, I saw that. I thought there was someone that posted something new. Have you heard of the flashing red Pilot BC is doing at one of their mid-block crossings? I didn't know that BC is considering that, but I've seen of that in Los Angeles dashcam videos at mid-block signals. Well, in the downtown core in particular, they have a yellow horizontal rectangular sign that says PED Xing, and when it turns red, it flashes red instead. In theory, it would be a great thing, but I feel like some drivers will end up abusing that. I guess, I mean, it doesn't need to not be considered. I think it should just be carefully selected based on pedestrian and vehicle volumes, really. But I think it would be good to consider, though, overall. I love the theory behind it. No, not the hawk beacons. I'm talking about like 3-section traffic signal heads. It turns yellow. Well, they're coordinated, but it turns yellow when there's a pedestrian column. Then it flashes red. Just one flashing red light, just like any other vehicle signal. If you search up driving in Los Angeles videos, you'll see a lot of that. Those are triangular wigwags. Yeah, no. They don't have sections horizontally or wigwags. That's a long all red interval. Now, over here, they have pretty much useless, or I would say counterproductive LBI here. Vehicles are not allowed to turn right, or vehicles are not allowed to turn into the park driveway except for city workers. And it still does an LBI. I submitted a request for them to remove it, but they're refusing to do so. I requested for a leading through interval and mentions that the bus bay can be considered a right turn lane, and then westbound left turns would have to yield to oncoming traffic for the through interval, but they said they're not doing that. pedestrian crossover is bouncing around with the wind. I don't get why they don't use overhead arms usually. They should use overhead arms because wires are more bouncy when there's wind. Okay, so yes, I can see from here that the fourth section that's currently doing the right turn overlap, that's Econolite Duralite. Okay, good. They kept it as Econolite Duralite. Now, for those who weren't here on my last live stream when I was here, this pedestrian crossover is also new. It used to be a traffic signal because Cherry Street used to be where the PXO is, but they relocated Cherry Street, and they closed off the other access. So there were traffic signals right here like about a year ago, and because Cherry Street used to be right here, you can kind of see the green drawbridge where Cherry Street used to be just a long straightaway to that drawbridge, and it used to go over that way to Lakeshore, but they closed it off and they realigned Cherry Street, so now it's at the traffic signals. So because of that, there's barely any traffic that goes along here, so now traffic signals are no longer warranted here. So instead, they just replace it with the level 1 type A pedestrian crossover. And there's now a stop sign for southbound. Oh hey, there's one of those construction vehicles that needed to be escorted. I don't know if the pickup truck's escorting it. I think it is. Those guys wanted to be on video. All right, so okay, good. The fourth section, the right turn overlap is all Duralite lighting, Econolite Duralite. So I'm going to go over to get a closer look. It looks like that all the other Fortran's lighting is still EOI though. I'm just gonna stand right here at the end of the curve so you guys can see. So this is a Fortran signal with EOI lighting, and this is an Econolite Duralite signal. So do you see how much brighter the Duralite lighting is between the Econolite Duralite and the 3-section Fortran EOI? Duralite is known to be really bright, and then there's nobody in the left turn lane for southbound, so I don't know if we're going to get to see it. But the green's like, oh, it's changing. So is the green arrow going to come on? Yes, it will. Okay, so this is an Econolite Duralite's green arrow on red, and this is a Fortran EOI. Do you see how the Fortran EOI is just lines, like 3 lines, and then the Econolite Duralite is pixelated and bright? Couldn't get the orange arrow in time for both. I don't like how long the all red interval is though. If you like, I can stay for another cycle to get another look. They're extending the park further west as well. So the green arrow actually came on when there was nobody in the left turn lane. It's supposed to be callable and extendable, but right now I think it's actually coming on as fixed time. It is good for us when it comes to us trying to get a look at the difference between Econoline and Duralite, but in theory it's not necessarily good if it's not good if there's nobody in the left turn lane though. So right now everything is fixed time. Alright, we'll do another cycle with the Econoline Duralite green arrow, assuming it's going to come on. Green light extends. This guy runs the red light. I mean, it's technically safe. He clearly looks before crossing. Alright, let's see that green arrow come on. So yeah, this is Fortran EOI. And this is Econolite Duralite. You see how much brighter it is though between the EOI and Duralite? That's what I love about Duralite so much, is because it's well lit and it makes it stand out more visibly to people. Are the EOI arrows the ones that are super common in Peel? To be honest, I haven't been in Peel for like a year. I haven't been on Mississauga roads for like a year, so I can't really say. But what I do know is that starting in 2013 to like the 2020s, EOI has been the only arrow that's really been used for new setups in Toronto. Right now, for new setups, they usually use either Econolite Duralite, Fortran Dialite, or Leotech. And for those wondering why I select for my animated traffic signal videos when I describe what I propose for signal phasing, that's why I use Econolite Duralite, because it's brighter and it stands out more. And of course, it makes it easier to capture with good quality and lighting. I might actually make a video of how I animate and texture my traffic signals. Interesting, I think it's the same here. You mean in Ottawa, right? I'm assuming. In Brampton, okay. And Mississauga, so like the Peel region, basically. I don't know what the Peel region usually uses for new setups, though. I just got notified that I don't have good connection, that it's trying to reconnect. In Ottawa, it's really a mixed bag. So yeah, that's the same in the Halton region. Basically, it's kind of random, but it depends which city in the Halton region. Oakville usually uses Econolite Duralite, sometimes McCain, and Burlington usually uses Fortran with EOI, sometimes McCain and Duralite though. Then I don't know how it is for everywhere else in the Halton region. It's hard to explain the difference between Dialite lighting and Duralite lighting. It's kind of, for green arrows, it's easy to tell when it's on or off. For green balls, Leotech really stands out for any type of lighting when it's on or off. Duralite as well, but between Dialite and EOI, it's harder to tell. So last time when I was here live streaming, my phone battery became low Then I ended the live stream over at the next traffic signals. I started, my phone's at 50% precisely right now. I started when my phone was about 88%. I'm gonna try to see if I can make it to King Street and Portland Street to see if any of the signals, new permanent signals there are active, but I don't think my phone battery is gonna make it over there. Okay, now it says the connection fixed itself now. So now we're coming to Lakeshore and Cherry Street. Coming back to Lakeshore. And I'm going to continue up Lakeshore. Well, I'm going to continue up Cherry Street. I can't go that way on Lakeshore. I'm still working on the sidewalk and multi-use trail. Didn't really make any notable changes here, though. They did a few years ago, but they put an LPI for eastbound and westbound and fully protected left turns for northbound. This intersection currently operates as semi-actuated. Where if there's no pedestrian call and there's very few vehicles, then the signals turn red for Cherry Street early, and that time gets added for Lakeshore, which is what happened just now. I'm actually not going to push the button on purpose the first time because I want to show it being semi-actuated. Unless someone else does. Cyclist tried to go on red. Okay, so now there's the northbound left turn phasing. One in the left turn lane. I still really don't like how long the all red interval is, though. There is pedestrian reservice if you don't push the button, but it only reservices when it turns green for oncoming traffic. So yeah, semi-actuated, no pedestrian call. I mean, it's probably going to maximize anyways because there's lots of southbound traffic this cycle. Here, nor the stop line is positioned where they can already see the crosswalk from far distance. The time it takes for drivers to reach the crosswalk is like 4 or 5 seconds. So this green light for Lakeshore might not be as long because there was more green time based on extension for vehicles. But the left turn phase will be longer this cycle since there's more folks in the left turn lane, as well as the TDC Nova bus and the TDC wheel during rush hour, the cycle in the green time needs to be along like the lakeshore, especially during rush hour, because when I used to go to college, I used to come back this way, and it was backed up like 1 or 2 blocks, I remember. All right, so we're gonna cross northbound this cycle. I feel like the left turn green arrow time is gonna maximize. So, is the button pushed? No, it's not pushed. It is pushed over on the west leg, so maybe there's a delayed walk with the leading left. I'm actually gonna have to see. The button on the other side is pushed, but not where I'm standing. So it does come on now, though. I don't remember seeing that. There's only one way to find out, actually. I'm gonna have to wait for a cycle where there's no pedestrian call over on that. This guy is stopped past the line, so if he's the only one turning, the left turn green arrow might not trigger. Well, the green time this cycle won't be as long for Lakeshore because it maximized, but I hope that it's long enough to allow good traffic flow to flow through. Nobody pushes the button on the west leg, because I'd like to see what happens if there's a call on the east leg but not on the west leg. So I'm going to push the button to see if it has something to do with the fact that someone didn't push the button, or if it just comes on as a delayed walk. Okay, so it is a delayed walk. Interesting. I'm not complaining, but if they're going to be putting a delayed walk here, they should really have a leading right turn green arrow with the left turn as well. So there's a pedestrian call here, but not over on the other side. That's interesting, actually. I'm gonna wait here. I want to see what happens if there's a pedestrian call on both legs. So it also extends if there's still vehicles coming when the countdown finishes. I've already submitted a 311 request that they convert this LPI to leading through interval if any interval is needed. think they might have increased the cycle length, because I don't remember it being this long with there being a pedestrian call. Okay, I'm gonna call it again. I don't think there's a pedestrian call over at the other side though, is there? There is. Okay, so we'll get to see what happens. Does it do the delayed walk if there's a pedestrian call on one side, or does it do it if there's both sides? We'll have to find out. So it does a delayed walk if there's a pedestrian call on both sides. I don't see anyone crossing on red. Someone must have been slow to turn or something. Okay, now, so that's the maximum green arrow time for northbound left turns. There's a 10-second all red interval. So what I think happened is, I think the crosswalk at the east leg where I'm crossed at, I think that crosswalk must be timed with southbounds, or right as that happens, my phone live stream cut off or lost connection. There was a shitty biker who crossed on red right in front of a cyclist who was going right across on green. I hope my live stream captured that. Well, I'm glad that we got to find out at least what causes the delayed walk for all three scenarios, with there being a pedestrian call at the east leg only, then a pedestrian call at the west leg only, and then a pedestrian call at both legs. And then if there's no pedestrian call on any legs, then the walk doesn't come on because it's semi-actuated. There's a bunch of streetcars waiting in line to turn around. That's the 504. The 504B streetcar. The 504A streetcar loops around here and goes westbound on King Street, and the 504B streetcar continues on King Street, and the 504A short turns here and goes to King Street West from here. We're going to get to see a westbound leading left turn phase. There's two vehicles turning rather. Both of the two northbound yellow vehicle signals became Econ Light Duralight recently, and those are the only Econ Light Duralight signals at this intersection right now. There is a southbound protected permissive left. No, there's a southbound fully protected left turn installed, but it's callable. So we didn't get to see it because there wasn't a call from the left turn lane. I usually go left on Mill Street to go to the other leading left, but I'm going to continue up this way this time, because at King Street there's a Fortran dialight. There are 3 Fortran dialight signals, and there's one Econolite Duralight that do a split phase and a yellow light and an orange arrow. So I'm going to go to those for a good comparison to make it easier to tell by the difference. And over here we have a leading right turn phase that's fully protected. It's callable, and recently they made it extendable. There isn't usually a right turn call, so most of the time we actually won't see it come on. But it's the other way around over at the next intersection from here. So there's no right turn call here. No right turn on red. I hate when bikers do that. Oh, there's going to be a right turn call next cycle behind us. But I'm just going to go to this intersection because most of the time there is a right turn call over here. Actually, one thing I should be doing, I don't know why I haven't yet, I have my umbrella with me. Okay, oh good, the green light extends for that streetcar. I usually, because it's supposed to rain in about an hour from now, I brought my umbrella with me, and what I should do to prevent inconsiderate freaks from turning right on red in front of me is I usually hold my umbrella straight out to increase my visibility and try to physically stop them from turning right on red. So here we have leading right turns, fully protected, and the opposite direction has no left turn. This one's callable but not extendable. Well, let's go. You're already in the intersection, you're committed to turning. That green driver just stopped for no reason. Just for the record, the stop line is right there. If you're already in the intersection when your right turn phase is on, you're committed to fully completing your turn. The pedestrians were not crossing on red, they were doing what they're supposed to do. That's Toronto culture. There's so many slow drivers that just brake for no reason when they have the right of way. Well, at least we'll get to see another leading right turn phase. So yeah, right turns are next. Pedestrians wait and respects the leading right turn. Now it's red, this is the last guy that's gonna go. And that's everyone. I wish this one was extendable though, but it isn't. Probably because it would require taking too much green time away from Eastern Avenue. And there's no left turn for southbound. And over at the next traffic signals, this is where the Econolite Duralite 4 section is, and the 3 Fortran Dialite 4 sections. Actually, as of here, as of at Eastern Avenue, Cherry Street becomes Sumac Street by name. You can't see it, but there's another annoying slow driver at the lights behind us. All right, so I'm going to... So for those who wanted to see the difference between Econolite Duralite lighting and Fortran Dialite lighting, this is a perfect spot because it has all the sections, arrows and balls. So the near side signal on the right is Econolite Duralite. All the other signals is Fortran Dialite, pixelated green arrows. Dialite is also bright, like Duralite. It does yellow light and an orange arrow as well. I'm sorry that the live stream quality is not good. I don't know how to increase the live stream quality to 4K because my phone camera does allow 4K videotaping in it, and I use 4K all the time. It even allows up to 8K, but the only reason I'm not doing 8K right now is because I don't think Media Player is built for 8K right now, and it'll probably won't be able to play on my desktop. So over here, we're going to be going left. What's my phone battery at? 34%. I don't think we're going to be able to make it to King and Portland in time, unfortunately. But where we will make it to in time is Adelaide Street and Parliament Street. Is somewhere else I wanted to check for signal timing updates. How can I zoom out? There. We're going to be taking whatever light comes first because we're going diagonal to the left. So this is split phasing. Northbound gets the advanced left first as part of their split phase. In theory, they should have a right turn green arrow as well, and bicycle signals having a green light. But bicycles go as well, so that's why they have a green ball. It says turning traffic yield to cyclists, but I really think it should be more detailed, saying right turns yield to northbound cyclists crossing King Street. Luckily, there's no right turn on red for every direction. Just gonna wait for those vehicles at least. All right, this time to make sure nobody turns right on red in front of me, I'm gonna hold my umbrella straight out to make sure nobody turns right on red in front of me. There's no one coming, that's good. Seems like the placing the bike signals would be a bit tricky. Yeah, because the stop line is so far back because of the streetcar track design. So our next intersection destination to check is Adelaide Street and Parliament Street. For those who didn't see my community post the other day, Adelaide Street is getting another intersection with fully protected left turns and bicycle signals. This time at Parliament Street. I saw those were bagged a couple days ago. They activated a couple new traffic signalized intersections just east from there. They said they don't know when they're going to activate the fully protected left turns, but I'm really hoping it's active now. I don't think it will be, unless they activated those left turns right after they activated the signals at Power Street, because they told me I got there 15 minutes after they activated the new signals at Power Street and Adelaide Street. So maybe they moved to that after. That's what we're checking. I also read that the City of Toronto wants to replace this pedestrian crossover with a signalized intersection. Either that or intersection pedestrian signals. Hopefully they'll be coordinated in favor of TTC and motor vehicles, if they are. I also wish we allowed 4-inch near side bicycle signals similar to the ones sometimes found in the US. There are 4-inch signals in Quebec. I know which ones you're mentioning, actually. They're the ones at the new fully symbolic horizontal gentrals in Saint John or something. They have those at Bloor and St. George as well, I'm pretty sure, as near side signals. So at the next traffic signalized intersection, we're going to be going right 1 block, and then we'll be at Adelaide and Parliament Street. Also, just a quick update on videos I'm scheduling for St. Philip's Street or Avenue Road, whatever, and Weston Road. I scheduled 2 more videos about that intersection. Starting today, they'll be released once a day for 3 days. So there will be 2 videos. There'll be a video coming up tomorrow and then Monday about that intersection. I usually try not to schedule more than 1 video in a day though, but because there won't be entertainment if I do all in one then leave a large gap after. So this is Power Street. These are the 2 new traffic signals that were activated, one on Richmond, one on Adelaide at Power Street. I'm not going to go to them right now because I'm just going to go straight to King. No, not King. I am on King. I'm going to be going to Adelaide and Parliament. I really hope that they're active. I don't expect them to be, though. I asked the guys who were doing the signal work and they said they don't know when it'll be active either. And that was Thursday, 2 days ago, when I saw those new signals. So we're going to be going right here. This is Adelaide Street right at the next light. Maybe we'll be able to tell by what road users do before we even get to see the signal heads. Yeah, no, it's not active. These are the new signal heads. I'm going to be crossing this way to get a better angle. So the through signals are going to be Fortran, EOI, I think EOI, or maybe it's Dialite, I don't know. And then the left turn signals are going to be Econolite, Duralite. I'm hoping they remove the LPI and make the left turn signals leads, but like they did on all the other intersections with left turn signals on the Adelaide, but I honestly don't know what they're gonna do. And that driver is distracted. What I really think they should have done is they should just reinstall the right turn channel over there and raise the crosswalks so that there's no permissive movements for eastbound over here. How much is my phone battery? 28%. I'm gonna head along Adelaide Street now. I'm gonna take this light. Now we're coming to some more new signals. They're all Fortrans, EOI. I think it's EOI. I'm gonna watch a cycle here. It looks like it's EOI to me. Six to count down. These signals are semi-actuated, thankfully. That's everyone. So now it should change, yep. And then eastbound will have a through arrow. Nice. So now we're coming to Adelaide and Sherburne Street. We'll get to see another leading left turn phase as we approach the intersection. These signals are also semi-actuated, but I think it's semi-actuated pedestrian though. But we saw that it went back to walk for Adelaide Street. So now we're going to get to see another leading left turn phase. Lots of idiots blocking the intersection. So there's the leading left at Adelaide and Jarvis. Now we're going to take this walk signal once it comes on and continue west. Oh, didn't see the sidewalk over there is blocked. I'll have to yield to bicycles. The bike lane's closed there too. Wasn't blocks there last time I was here. Looks safe to ride onto me though. I think the bike lane should not be closed unless the asphalt didn't dry yet or it's too hot to ride on. So now we're at Adelaide and Church Street.
0?
What's my phone battery at? 19%. It would be good if I can make it to at least University Avenue before my phone dies.
You can't. Use a service.
So there's southbound left turns, northbound right turns. Given the room that there's here, I really think that there should be a southbound leading left based on how much people turn left, and a northbound leading right at the same time. Left turns can turn into the buffer zone and right turns can turn into the right lane. There's that leading left. So here's a 4-section TCT signal head. So there's a left turn call, so we'll get to see the leading left come on. Callable and extendable. Look at that dumbass turning left from the wrong lane. You have to go straight from this lane. You're in a straight lane. The left turn lane's beside you. Well, I didn't mean turn left on right, I mean go straight. Only good drivers miss their turns. get to see this left turn phase come on as well. Good. So now it must be terminating. Yeah. My phone battery at 15%. So I think I'm going to be stopping the stream at University Avenue because my phone battery needs to charge. I think I haven't really announced it, but I think I'm also going to be starting to make a walking in Toronto versus stupidity video series, just like my current driving in Toronto versus stupidity videos. This won't include live streams, unfortunately, right now, because I can't make the video quality that good for live streams. Flashing hand started, so I'm gonna wait for the next light. Look at that, a useless LPI. Nobody crossing. Turns are allowed on weekends, but generally on weekdays from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. there's no turns for southbounds, except for TTC buses. I think southbound needs a leading left, in my opinion. Looking at all those folks turning left. That guy almost turns the wrong way on Adelaide Street. Yeah, I think southbound needs a leading left. On weekends, though, during this time of day, no call from the left turn lane, so there's no left turn phase this time. Coming. Can't start. These lights are semi-actuated pedestrian. They removed the LPI here after I complained about it. There's a fire truck incoming. Let's go, fire truck, let's go. Protest the LPI. love when fire trucks cut off the LPI and act like they protested. I love when they come during the LPI to prevent its purpose. I am also planning to protest Toronto's leading pedestrian interval policy as well. By standing by an intersection and hold signs trying to raise awareness to do leading funerals instead. Now we're coming to York Street. We're going to get to see the southbound streetcar white vertical line come on. We're going to take the next light. The streetcar's white vertical line will come on. There we go. Extendable as well. What's my phone battery at? 11%. So I'm only gonna go one more traffic signalized intersection, then I'm gonna have to end the stream because I need to make sure my phone doesn't die. I'm gonna charge it after. No call from the left turn lane, so we won't get to see that on. Drivers, let's go. This leading left is extendable, thankfully, because there's lots of folks that turn here. And this is going to be the last driver to turn because it's terminating now. And then I'm gonna, at the next light south from here, I'm gonna just hop on the subway and head back or something. I'll videotape one more cycle of I'll videotape one more cycle and then I'm gonna end the stream. We get to see the southbounds leading left, callable and extendable. That's going to be the last driver to turn. Good. Pedestrians wait for their light where they're supposed to. Drivers properly yield when it terminates. Ooh, there's a left turn call right now actually over at York Street. Maybe if I can zoom in on that, I might be able to get that on video. Maybe they're both gonna come on at the same time. The signals here are actually not the same cycle length as York Street, so they're not coordinated for each other. Maybe they'll come on at the same time. I'll see if I can get both of them in the camera angle. So there's the one at University Avenue. Extendable, well used by drivers. And oh, the left turn phase didn't come on at York Street. Wonder what happened there. Maybe someone left the left turn lane, because I know that the call can be undone if the driver leaves the detection zone. Well, I'm gonna end the stream right here. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I would continue farther and longer, but if I do, my phone's gonna die. So I'll have to end the stream here. Thank you everyone so much for watching. The stream will be available to watch publicly once it's finished uploading. And for those who missed out or couldn't make it to the stream, you'll get to watch it, and you'll also get to see my community posts of the new traffic signals being installed along Lakeshore and Adelaide and Parliament. And yeah, I'm gonna head over down to the subway now. Thank you for watching, everyone.